Hello everybody, I hope you're all keeping nice and warm in this weather. I've just gone outside. It's really horrible outside. It's wet, it's rainy and it's cold. But as I said, my dog is house trained, so I take him out whether it's rain or snow or ice. Good evening everybody. All I want to do is live peacefully alone in my flat. That's all I want to do. I'm happy by myself. I'm middle-aged. I get on with my life. I don't need my mummy every day. It's not as if I'm 36. Add 20 years onto that. And there you go. I'm not a baby. I mean, they're not following me about because they care about me. No, they're just being nosy and wondering what's going on, and I've just been keeping quiet. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 7:23 p.m.
So it's 23 minutes past 7. As I said, I live alone. Quite happy to do so after all the trouble I've had in my life. No one tells me what to do. I'm my own boss. So 7:24. Oh, a man seriously hurt. I mean, I get the Birmingham news. I don't know why. A city stabbing 2 hours ago. Man seriously hurt near a recreation ground. Why I'm getting alerts from Birmingham newspapers, I don't know. This is Rochester. A man has been seriously injured after suffering a stabbing attack in or near Wyndhurst Road in Stetchford, where 999 crews were called to on Monday afternoon. This is by Nick Horner, senior reporter of the Birmingham Live. Alexa, notifications.
One new notification from Amazon. On Tuesday, rain is expected near you in Rochester, starting around 4 a.m. and continuing intermittently until around 11 p.m. You can expect about 0.14 inches.
Right guys, I told you I live alone, buy my own food, look after myself. So I saw this on TikTok. A couple of women have got this. So this is expected by Wednesday, December the 11th. Christmas blind date with a book. Yeah, I'm going to sit down with a cup of coffee and read a book at Christmas. Look, Christmas blind date with a book. Mystery book bundle. So you get a book and like a sachet of hot chocolate, a couple of candles. Sit down and relax with a book. It's far more interesting and it doesn't cause you any trouble. So, usual baloney in the evening. Somebody with the name of Ho at the end of their name liked something on my Facebook. Thank you. Rack Ho or somebody. Usual baloney. Right, so I could see that the weather was raining. And it is, it's raining. And it's cold and it's damp. And I'm on my own. And sometimes I think, fuck it, I don't want to go outside, but I do. So I grab my coat. It's all wet. My furry hooded coat and my Papa Smurf hat. And I definitely am a woman. Got me out, grabbed my umbrella, even though it's probably, I thought, well, is that going to be any use because I'm going to blast off into space with it because it's so bloody windy. But I took it anyway. Quiet when I went out the building. Quiet. Well, remember, it's going to get fairly busy near Christmas, isn't it? So we're expecting it to be like Clapham train station, whatever, the busiest train station that ever is. People coming in, people coming out. Oh, my mum's ringing the phone at 7:30. as I'm doing this video. I just want a bit of peace and quiet, that's all. And one night's good sleep. So let's stop that. Well, she hasn't stopped the video, it's carried on, so. I'll wait till it's less busy to go out. I don't want to bump into people. I've got a bad stomach. It was gurgling before I went out, actually gurgling. And I thought, how far am I going to get before my stomach bursts? And I don't want to talk to people when I've got a tummy ache. I don't want to stand and chat. I don't want people to get in my way and be a nuisance. I just want to go out, take my dog for a walk and get home before I have an accident, because I had a bad tummy, it was gurgling. So went outside, dodged traffic, walked up towards the co-op. You always get the cough, you know, the devil's cough. The women go, the men go, you always get that. So you have the cough, you always get at least one cough. So I walked past the co-op and nobody about at all. I didn't bump into anybody and I thought, great, I'm going to get into the flats with no trouble at all, aren't I? Well, hopefully, no. No, I'm being quiet and I just want to, when you want somebody, there's nobody there. When you don't want someone, there's people all over the place. So, I'm an older person. I'm living next door to a family that's got kids. The bloke upstairs from me has got kids. And the people to the side of me have got grandkids. And I'm sandwiched between it all. Right, like a lot of people are in flats. Imagine being on the 4th or 5th, 6th floor of a 14-block apartment. It must be bloody awful. I've got used to it, but when you feel low and when you don't feel well, it can get on your nerves. I just want to go out of my door and be left alone. No one's bothering with me before. So why start now? Oh, because I'm not dancing to the tune of my mum. Like I said, they're not following me about, they're just being nosy. My son does not live with me. I live alone. No one comes up and picks me up in a car and takes me out anywhere. I think, when was the last time? One of my sons has been away in America for a month. The other one lives in Gloucestershire. I haven't seen either of them for ages. And no one's been coming up to the flats and helping me out with my shopping. Or taking me anywhere. Nobody. And remember that my mum, Jennifer, is a 78-year-old lady. I'm in my 50s. And for the moment in time, I'm mobile and do everything myself. Nobody takes my rubbish out. Nobody does anything for me. Nobody takes my dog for a walk when I'm not well. And I think us women and men that live on our own are very strong people, very well resourced. And when you come across an emergency, you deal with it. And you know, some people living with lots of people can't deal with emergencies, even when they are with people. So when I deal with it, there's only me. So obviously I went out with the umbrella. The umbrella was like swaying in the wind. I ended up pulling it down. And it's cold. I don't want to stand about. It's freezing. I'm going to put the heating on for a bit. I know young people think it's funny being kept awake. They probably think it's hilarious. But when you get to my age, it's not funny. It ain't funny. And if these people live that long, then they realise the nuisance they caused will get returned to them when they're older, because it'll happen to you. No doubt it will. They think it's funny to play me up. They think it's hilarious. I mean, I used to do it to my nan when I was a little girl. Drop things on the floor because I didn't realise that was an old lady that wasn't going to be on the planet much longer. And I played her up merry hell. Because we don't realise, do we? A little child of about 8 doesn't realise, but a 15, 16, 17-year-old does realise what they're doing to somebody. And you know, so this, make up your mind, am I a man or am I a hoe? Make up your mind, because you just can't do that, can you? These bullies can't decide. So I told you I went out to the co-op. I've got some bits here. I've been nibbling on my cocktail sausages. I've had a couple of fairy cakes, and I've been reading and getting on with my own business. I'm not a young person, right? I'm an older person, and I just want to be left alone. If that's okay and possible. So we got wet, we got freezing cold, and when I came back into my flat, there was people all over the place, and I just want to, I'm not in the mood for it. I don't want to get cross with anybody. I don't want my dog get stressed as well as myself, and we just want to be left alone. If you've got bad intentions, just stay away. If you honestly want to speak to me and you're being nice, go ahead. But if you know these gang stalkers, they're not doing it for a nice positive reason. They just want to get me going and upset me. And I told you I don't need my mummy. I'm in my 50s. So it's been okay. When they're at school, all these kids, it's fairly quiet inside the building. I mean, you're going to get the odd noise. At night, it can be fucking horrendous. And if you can't wear earphones, I mean, I just cover my head with the fleece blanket and stick cotton wool in my ears. I've gone onto YouTube. There's other people that suffer from it. I've heard it. Kids stomping on the ceiling, kids banging till the early hours of the morning when they're supposed to go to school. And somebody said, well, where does all this burst of energy come from? And my parents used to tell me how can a parent just watch its kid continuously run up and down for hours and hours and actually stand it themselves? There's no respect for other people. There isn't. It's no respect. No respect at all. You see, they think it's funny. They want somebody to get cross. I've got a bad tummy. I went to the loo before I went out, and I'm gonna have to go again. Right, I could have the cold. I mean, running around me when I could have germs on me. They're really silly. Anyway, so it's quiet at the moment because I'm going to put the heating on, and I'm going to put my telly on, and I put my radio on to cut it out. It blocks it out both ways. I don't have to go to work in the morning. The guy upstairs does. He was parked outside my flat at the weekends, but he's parked outside the old lady's flat now. The old lady that gave me the chews for the Max, dog chews. The old lady that when I was on my own 2 Christmases ago, she was going to ring on my buzzer to feed the fox. So she feeds the fox near people's cars. But I'm okay this Christmas. I've already got my shopping ready to go. Middle of December. I booked a slot weeks ago, so my food's all ready to come near Christmas. You see, my fault, right? I thought I was trying to help people, like sharing things what going on in my life, and some people just take it upon themselves to go through the YouTube and see what fucking gets you going, and then start doing it because they've got the intelligence of a fly. So I told you, when I was getting noise from there, it was about 7-10 days ago, I picked up, I was absolutely at my wit's end with it all. I really was. I couldn't sit and watch my telly, I couldn't sit down, I couldn't do anything. So I thought, right, ring my mum up, have a chat with somebody. No, it just made it worse. It just made it worse. The lady in the Rochester Cathedral said, like, if it gets like that again, just go into the cathedral and ask for the chaplain and just someone to sit down and listen. They won't be able to do anything, but someone will be able to listen rather than wind me up, and they just give you a listening ear. The church actually helped me calm myself down last Friday when I was being wound up. As for wanting the truth to come out, the only way the truth will come out is if they tell the truth, and you can't force people to tell the truth. You can't force people to confess a conspiracy. The only thing you can do is just leave them to their own devices, because they ain't worth the steam off your piss. They ain't. They're just there to wind you up, and they wind people up and they trigger people, and then people end up swearing, bashing things, breaking their property and getting all upset. They are really, 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 they're not worth the steam off my piss. I've ignored everyone today, everyone that was trying to get on my nerves, be stupid, be derogatory, say things that was meant to trigger me off. I've just completely ignored it. I've not even mentioned half the stuff that's happened to me today, because the people that are doing it to me aren't worth the steam off my pee-pee. And the thing is, it will come round to bite them on the arse, because if they keep keeping somebody awake, they're keeping themselves awake. And when they go to school, they fall asleep at the desk, or they have an accident, because the normal human being needs 10 hours of sleep. And if these kids are getting 2 or 3 hours of sleep, then eventually their body will shut down and they'll have an accident or something. But to try and wind an older woman up, right, it ain't going to work anymore. No. I'm sorry, it won't, and I am a woman. And if you don't think I am, change your glasses. See you later.